If you cheat, if you try and cut corners, you will get exposed, you will get punished, you will get embarrassed, you will lose all the respect, all the dignity, all the pride that you had will be stripped away from you.
He don't differ too much because, you know, a lot of fighters that I had the pleasure of working with have a mentality of, I want to win. Let's work. Come on, coach, let's work. I want to win. So
Chris Eubank Jr.'s own trainer throws a surprising curveball by subtly siding with Conor Benn, questioning Eubank's attitude. He hints that, unlike other fighters he's trained, who showed hunger, humility, and a burning desire to win, Eubank Jr. carries an air of arrogance that sets him apart. There's a strong suggestion that Benn's mindset is more grounded and focused. The trainer also takes a jab at the brutal weight.
I'm saying how powerful he is. It's not like he's a one-punch knockout guy. So, like, really? I mean, he's talking like he's knocking guys out with either hand.
Weight cut Eubank endured, implying it's just another gamble in a career full of distractions. Meanwhile, Jonathan Banks fires sharp shots at Conor Benn, tearing into the hype surrounding Benn's so-called power. He brutally dismisses the idea that Benn is a knockout artist, mocking the way Benn speaks as if he's a two-handed destroyer. According to Banks, the reality doesn't match the norm.
Prepared for, I cut the weight for the first time around. The scandal happened, he got caught doing the drugs. Eddie Hearn tried to cover it all up, get him off the hook. Now he's back on the...
Benn isn't the one-punch finisher people claim he is. It's a savage reminder that hype means nothing once the fists start flying. On the other side, Chris Eubank Jr. reignites the fire by revisiting the chaos surrounding their first failed fight. He reminds everyone how he endured the brutal weight cut, sacrificing everything, only for the fight to collapse after Benn's failed drug test.
I don't think he should have said it, but I mean, the senior says what he thinks. You know, whether he's wrong or right, he'll say it. I don't necessarily agree with it.
Eubank doesn't hold back, accusing Eddie Hearn of shamelessly trying to bury the scandal and protect Benn's image. Now that Benn is back in the spotlight, Eubank makes it clear he hasn't forgotten, and promises payback is on the horizon. Amid the chaos, Ronnie Davies steps in with a measured but firm take on Chris Eubank Sr.'s explosive comments, trying to bring some balance to the war of words. Ronnie Davies admits that some of...
The one thing I strength with him, Chris is his own man. He knows what to do. He's got tremendous self-belief, not because his father had that. So that won't affect him.
Chris Eubank Sr.'s explosive comments should never have been said publicly. Still, he shrugs it off as typical senior behavior, saying whatever comes to mind, right or wrong. Davies doesn't sugarcoat the situation, but makes it clear this is just who Senior has always been. Unfiltered, unpredictable, and driven by his own version of the truth, even if it stirs unnecessary drama ahead of a crucial fight. Moreover, Davies shuts down any notion that Chris Eubank Jr. will be mentally shaken.
Bedeutet mir verdammt nochmal alles. Und wenn Conor Benn morgen Abend ausknockt, ihr könnt mir 5 Millionen oder 10 Millionen geben, ist mir egal. Nur der Sieg zählt, dann geht's durch die Seile zur Feier meines Mannes, auf den ich sehr stolz bin.
By his father's antics. According to Davies, Jr. won't draw strength or weakness from Senior's chaotic behavior. He emphasizes that Jr. is fiercely independent, built with an unshakable self-belief that doesn't rely on anyone else's validation. In Davies' view, Eubank Jr.'s mental toughness wasn't inherited. It was forged from within. No matter how loud or controversial Senior gets, it won't derail Jr.'s mindset or preparation for the war ahead. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn unleashes raw fire, declaring that Conor Benn's knockout over...
Knows how to play those small games, but Conor's ice cold, Gareth. He's ice cold, and
your thing is that he's going to do it, yeah?
Yeah.
Over Chris Eubank Jr. won't be about money. It'll be about humiliation, legacy, and sending a ruthless message. He dismisses Eubank as a delusional showman, spiraling toward career collapse, while Benn, in Hearn's eyes, is a force of nature ready to obliterate him. On the flip side, Sam Jones fires back with a fierce defense of Chris Eubank Jr., warning that Junior thrives in chaos and fights best with his back against the wall. He paints Eubank as a war-hardened survivor, not some loudmouth ready to fold. Jones tears into the overhyped image of Conor Benn without hesitation, insisting that when the real war breaks out under the lights, it won't be cold stares that decide the outcome. It'll be hardened experience and pure grit.
Listen, I hang out with Conor. Conor comes to my house. I want Conor to win.
Okay.
Yeah? But
Who do you think will win?
But it's going to be a hard fight for both fighters.
Agree.
Yeah, do you understand? It's going to be a hard fight for both fighters. I had the guys.
Jones emphasizes that Eubank Jr. has walked through fire, faced elite opponents, and earned his stripes the hard way, unlike Benn, who's still wading in shallow waters. He predicts that Benn's cool exterior will crack under Eubank's relentless pressure and tempo. For Jones, Jr. is stepping into the ring not just to win, but to dismantle a manufactured narrative and expose an illusion. The real battle won't just be physical, it will be a test of who truly stands tall under pressure. Adding to the storm, Derek Chisora doesn't hold back either, offering his own raw and unfiltered take. As a close friend of Conor Benn, Chisora stokes the flames even higher, promising that
it was very disappointing, and obviously I was very shocked with what I saw. There's no place for drugs in the sport, and the right thing happened.
this won't just be a fight, it'll be absolute carnage. Derek Chisora is firmly in Conor Benn's corner and isn't afraid to show it, often welcoming Benn into his home like family. However, Chisora also brings a brutal dose of reality to the table. He makes it clear that this fight won't be anything short of a war, with both fighters pushed to their absolute limits. Despite his personal loyalty to Benn, Chisora acknowledges the immense challenge ahead, recognizing that the stakes couldn't be higher for either man. There's no escaping the truth. Whoever wins will have truly earned it. This clash will be one of the toughest tests of their careers, leaving lasting scars, both physically and mentally, on the survivor. Meanwhile, Adam Smith
I believe that he's been caught not once but twice. Then take his license.
didn't hold back as he set the record straight. In a scathing takedown, he called out the chaos that has clouded the fight, insisting boxing has no place for drug cheats or fighters who crumble under pressure. Adam made it clear, the sport is bigger than any one individual, and those who tarnish its name with failed drug tests or run from fights have no future in the game. He directly slammed Conor Benn for pulling out of the original fight against Chris Eubank Jr., claiming it was obvious Benn was scared. According to Smith, when the pressure reached its boiling point, Benn ran from the challenge instead of stepping up. He emphasized that boxing cannot afford to ignore such behavior. Fighters like Benn, who have already been caught twice for failed drug tests, should face real consequences. In Smith's eyes, Benn's actions were nothing short of a disgrace to the sport, and he made it crystal clear. There's no room for cowards or cheats.
Chris Eubank is enjoying. He's a cool, calm, calculated man. He's rather like his father, and he's wanting to surgically get at Conor Benn all the time, still digging him with a knife that he's a drugs cheat. He loves these
in boxing. To add even more fire, Duke McKenzie's explosive take is about to drop, and it's pure devastation. In one of the most brutal verbal assaults yet, Duke rips into Conor Benn without mercy. He tears apart Benn's carefully crafted image, exposing the cracks and accusing him of failing the sport, betraying the fans, and shaming the tradition of real warriors who step up when it matters most. Duke McKenzie didn't pull any punches, tearing into Conor Benn with brutal honesty. He accused Benn of disgracing the sport by walking away just days before what should have been the biggest war of his career. According to Duke, Benn didn't just fold, he crumbled like a coward. McKenzie savaged Benn's history of double drug test disasters, slamming his latest withdrawal as a coward's calculated exit strategy, not a moment of panic. He refused to label it bad luck. He called it manipulation, plain and simple. Duke argued that Benn has mocked the system, spit on the rules, and no longer deserves a place in the sport. He called for the British Boxing Board to revoke Benn's license permanently, insisting there's no redemption left. This wasn't fear of Chris Eubank Jr., it was fear of being exposed. In Duke's words, Ben is unworthy of stepping into the ring, a stain on boxing's legacy. Now, the sport must make an example out of him to preserve its honor. Meanwhile, Gareth A. Davies doesn't mince words when assessing Chris Eubank Jr.'s fighting style. He describes Eubank as unnervingly calm and composed, even in the eye of the fiercest storms. Like his father, Eubank carries an air of unshakable confidence, allowing him to stay poised under extreme pressure. Davies highlights Eubank's methodical, calculated approach, likening him to a surgeon dissecting his opponent with ruthless precision. Eubank doesn't rely on one big punch or wild exchanges. He breaks opponents down with relentless, measured combinations, delivering a brutal barrage of 7 precise strikes. What truly sets him apart is his love for the chaos, diving into the madness with a sharp, knife-like mentality. But here's the real question. Can Conor Benn, with all his speed and aggression, survive the precision, patience, and mental steel that Eubank brings? This fight isn't just about fists, it's about mental dominance. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who has the real edge in this epic rivalry? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more exclusive breakdowns.